Are you looking for the magic to make your life truly count? Do you want the secret formula to make every day your best day yet? Hello, and welcome to the Finishing on Fire radio show. And now, here are your show hosts, Dave Wadsworth and Greg Vance.
Hello, this is Dave Wadsworth, your co-host, and I have with me Greg Vance, a good friend for a long time, and he is my co-host for the show. Hey, Greg.
Hey, Dave.
Good to see you. What we're going to talk about, everybody, we're going to talk about this show is basically an extension of my Amazon best-selling book. It's called Finishing on Fire. And like I said, it's on Amazon. You can go in there and get the paperback copy. You can also get the ebook. And hopefully we'll have that the Audible real soon on that too. But it's called Finishing on Fire. And the subtitle is Live Your Legacy of Purpose, Passion, and Prosperity. And of course, I know, Greg, with your work, you talk about purpose. And can you say just a little bit about that and what you do there?
Sure, Dave. So I'm a career and business coach, and I work with a lot of people that are in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, sometimes a little earlier, but usually I find that most people, once they hit their 50s, they're starting to turn their mind towards significance and what their purpose is and really the impact that they're having. So I get to spend a lot of time working with people on that. So when Dave wrote his book, I was excited about that because it puts a really nice story around what it's like to have purpose and significance and a legacy.
That's good stuff. Yeah. And Greg, you've had a lot of experience with that, the coaching aspect and really helping people just find that in their life. And that's exciting. And like I said, this book is on Amazon, Finishing on Fire. And actually it's my second book. My first book is called Living in the Ditch. And it's more of a childhood drama of my brother and I and all the adventures that we had. It's called Living in the Ditch, one ditch, two boys, and 3,000 adventures. And it's pretty funny, and you'll really enjoy it too. And it was written and dedicated to my mother, Loretta Wadsworth. And she just thinks it's the greatest thing because, of course, I got her picture in there with me and my brother who we were in the ditch, living in the ditch all the time. And the funny, just a real quick background on that one. When we were little boys, and you'll see on the cover a picture of the ditch and my little nephew, who's about 6 at the time. And that's about the age we were in that ditch every day. And it was a perennial stream within about 50 feet of our house. And we were there catching frogs and turtles and snakes and crawdads and fish every day. And people around town, they would see mom and dad and they'd say, "Hey, what are the boys up to? What are they doing?" And mom would say, "Oh, they're in that ditch. They practically live in that ditch." And so I have the book Living in the Ditch. And it's really a lot of fun and a lot of some family history and stuff like that. A good fun read. But the second book here, Finishing on Fire, which is what this show is really about, is really a solid book about, your purpose and your passion and prosperity. And that's what we want for you. We want those things. And as Greg and I have gotten a little older, we kind of look at those things and say, hey, what is my life about? And what kind of impact do I have? And so that's really what we're trying to do is help you go there. And the takeaways from the show that we're really wanting to key in on are, encouragement, just straight up encouragement for you as a man. And we'll have women here listening, but the book is written mostly for kind of middle-aged and older men. That was a target. The other thing, we want to have fun and lighthearted interactions because fun people and we just enjoy life. And we want you to go there. We want you to be there, and we want to help you, enjoy life in that way. Also, we want to have some really helpful information every episode. We want to give you stuff that really lets you think about things, and it gives you ideas that you can really put into your life. And then another thing, we want to give you some very basic but great techniques for self-improvement.
Mm-hmm.
And Greg, you know how that is. Basically, we're either growing or we're dying, and we want to help you grow. And so, if we can give you those tools to self improve every day, that's really what we're doing here. So, and in a nutshell, I want to read this real quick, Greg. We talked about this earlier, and the Finishing on Fire premise is that better men make better husbands. Better husbands make better marriages. Better marriages make better families. Better families make better communities. Better communities make a better country. And a better country makes a better world. And basically, Greg, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, well said. I mean, we live in a world where, it seems like so many things are connected every day that we, how well we're connected to each other through social media and things like that. But what we're really talking about here is how each of us can really make a difference in the world, as you just described there. It's very important. But thinking about how we start with our families and our own lives first, then making a difference for our families. And there's so much impact that each of us can have. And hopefully Dave and I will be able to relate to you some of the experiences we've had, both good and both bad, things that we tried that maybe didn't work so well. And we've learned from those, and you can benefit from our missteps perhaps, but hopefully we can share some successes with you as well to help encourage you.
Yeah, exactly. I like the way John Lee Dumas puts it on his podcast. I've heard him say this several times. We talk about winning and losing, and he says, the way I look at it is, we win or we learn. It's not we win or we lose, but we learn. And I guarantee you, the scars I have, the broken bones I have, the pain in my heart from situations that I've endured, I've learned a lot. And it seems like, as a guy, sometimes I just do it the hard way first, and then just have to move on from there. And that reminds me of this joke, Greg. Do you know why the chicken crossed the road?
No, please share that with me.
The reason the chicken crossed the road is to prove to the possum that it could be done. I see so many dead possums on the road. Oh my gosh. And as we get into winter, there's a season, the mating season, of course, of deer. And then you get into winter and you have the skunks. And oh my goodness, it's like skunks everywhere. And sometimes if you're going down the road and you hit, a possum or something, okay, that's okay. And you get by. But if you hit a skunk, it just stays with you forever. It's almost like it seeps into the car and this sticks in there, so just the smell. But I just thought of that. And that's one of the kind of the fun things that Greg and I will do. I've got ADD. I'm all over the place, but we're going to have fun with it. And hopefully you can sort out some of the good stuff in the middle of this. And
that's actually a good lead into some of the segments we're going to do. Maybe tell them a little bit more about some more of those animal type stories and
that. Oh my gosh, it made me think of another one. But you're right, Greg. I'm glad you said that, because we really, in our episodes, each show, we're going to have different segments, and we're going to kind of change them around. We're not going to have everything every week, because we'd just talk your leg off, which I can easily do. But now, one of the segments that we're going to talk about is going to be called. Of course, my last name is Wadsworth. So growing up, they called me Wadsy. And when I played football, my brother and I was a tailback, he was a fullback, and I was a year older. So they called me Wadsy 1, and they called Doug Wadsy 2. And so Wadsy this, Wadsy. So we got a segment called Wadsy's World. Okay, Wadsy's World is animal stories and more. And Greg is going to actually pick from a list of like 40 some different animals. And he's just going to throw one out, and then I'm going to tell a story about that particular animal and the experience that I've had in my life about dealing with those animals. And it's really, I I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think you're going to learn something. I think you're going to realize, you know, you need to just enjoy life. Sometimes it's smelly and messy, but it'll be fun. So yeah, Wadsy's World is going to be one of those segments. Also, we've got what we call a Man Up Challenge, where we're going to give you a very straightforward assignment. And it's going to be a challenge for you for that week. And we're going to say, here, go do this. And it will change your life. But it's a man up challenge, time to man up. Another one, we're definitely going to have listener questions, because we want to hear what you have to say. We want to try to answer any kind of questions that you have that you're struggling with, whatever they may be. Also, we're going to have some words of wisdom from some books that we've read, different old books and just words of wisdom that have just really survived the test of time. They've just gone generation to generation, and they've been just very powerful in people's lives. Another one, we're going to talk about manly movie moments, and that'll be fun, because we're going to pull out sometimes parts of these movies are different scenes, and we're going to talk about them, and we're going to have some fun with that. Matter of fact, Greg and I both have relationships with people that have had experience in the movie business, or in Broadway and all this, and possibly have guests on to talk about some of these manly movie moments, and I'm kind of excited about that one too. Also, we're going to have what we call last lap learning, and I talk about in our lives, we are basically, as middle-aged guys and older, we're on our last lap in life, okay? And in football terms, we're in the fourth quarter. We're playing the fourth quarter. We've got more time behind us than we have ahead of us. And so we're trying to help you make each and every day count. Make it your best day today. And then tomorrow, do it again, and just keep making it your best day, really wringing the most you can out of life, and just really how to focus in on the people you're with, the relationships you have, and then the many blessings you have in life, whether it's through work or just social opportunities and so forth. One other, we're definitely going to have some featured guests, like I mentioned. We're also going to have topics. A specific topic of the week is what we're going to go with. Football lingo, again, we're going to have a 2-minute warning. And it's going to be something where we're going to say, hey, guys, this is a behavior you need to stop, or you need to start, because this is a 2-minute warning, because the game's about over. We don't know when. Of course, we've dealt with this COVID virus thing, and I've lost several family members through this, some young ones, some old ones, and it's really kind of a tough thing, but the 2-minute warning, I think, will help bring us into focus on what we need to be doing. And then let's see, a couple other things here. This is going to be funny. It's called "What's Up, Chuck?" and it's raw and relevant topics. Okay, and we're gonna bring some stuff to the forefront that you may be dealing with, but and we're going to touch a nerve. We're going to say some things and talk about some things that'll be, I think, it'll be fairly sensitive. But you need to hear them. And in my book, the Finishing on Fire book, oh my gosh, you really need to get it. I don't make hardly anything on it. That's not the point. What I want you to do is be the best person you can be. And there are so many techniques in this book. If you just take the book and you gain one insight, it will absolutely change your life. And Greg, that's what we want. We want the best for our audience. Whoever's out there, we want you to have the best life you can have.
Absolutely. Yeah. This show's it's not about us per se. It's if we can share some wisdom or some experiences like we talked about a while ago, or bring a guest on that can share something valuable, we're hoping that it's going to make a big difference in your life. And so this show is really about the listeners.
Yeah, and that's true. And I hope we never lose that focus, that really, and Zig Ziglar always talked about this. If you want to get what you really want, you just got to help enough other people get what they want. And that's really where we need to focus is, how can we serve the audience, and how can we give them the wisdom and the ideas and techniques where they can implement everyday, just simple things, but they really have a high impact on their life, and then in turn on their marriage and on their families and on their communities. And, it's just the ripple effect. And
Right.
I'm excited about that. I really am. So now, Greg, before we close out here, this is, of course, our intro show, and I want to talk a little bit about us. Greg, tell me just a little more about maybe your background and some of the things you're excited about, and what we're looking forward to in your future. So go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So as I mentioned, I'm a career and business coach. Prior to that, before starting my practice, I was an information technology executive with a financial services organization. So I had a lot of opportunities to influence people's lives inside the organization and vendors that we've worked with and things like that. But I found I really liked working with people one-on-one, and specifically helping them meet the goals that they want to reach. And so my company is called Career Meets Purpose. So from the name, I do focus on people and helping them understand and achieve what their purpose is in life. And so that's something really exciting that I get to work on every day. And as I say to them, through that process, when you find that out, your journey there is, your purpose awaits you. And so it's a matter of finding it out and seizing it. So it's an exciting thing to be a part of.
Yeah.
Dave, let's hear some more about you, Dave.
Well, Greg, I need to tell you, Greg is actually the technical guy of our duo here. He's got a lot of great experience, and he can do a lot of this stuff, but the passion he has to really help people and to really help them find that purpose, that's exciting to me, because it shows the big-hearted nature that he has, and that's pretty cool. So, but yeah, again, on me, I think Greg mentioned, if on the back of my book, I have a little bit of a bio. I'm obviously an author. I'm a motivational speaker. I love to speak and teach and train. I do a lot of corporate training, a lot of nonprofits I've done. I used to work for years. I was a manager with the U.S. government under the U.S. Department of Agriculture when I graduated Purdue back in, 85. I started out with the U.S. government and loved that. I got tired of the bureaucracy after many years. And I said, you know what, I need a change. And then I went corporate. I actually had a fellow at my church who was president of a milling company, and they had pet food, dog food, cat food, wild bird food, all kinds of things like that. And I was a regional sales manager for them and covered about 16 states in the southeastern United States, and really enjoyed that. And got to the point I said, you know what, I'm getting old and hard-headed and stubborn, and I wanted a little more freedom. And so I left that corporate world. So from government to corporate, and then now to I am an entrepreneur. I have my own business. I actually have a tree and wildlife management business that I've done for several years. I really like it. And I do that, but I'm really going more into this, our broadcasting with the radio show. Like I said, this is my second book, and I'm excited. I've got actually 93 titles in my head of books I want to write. But with my ADD, who's going to, how am I going to get all that together? But I am very amazed at myself that I actually completed 2 books, and I'm thrilled. Of course, this one's #1 bestseller on Amazon, which is exciting. But the excitement comes, like you, Greg, is seeing lives changed.
Yes.
I met a gentleman today. He said, Dave, I finished your book. I love your book. He says, Dave, I'm going to read it 2 more times. It's an easy read. I made it large print, not real heavy, but he said, I really liked it. I like the ideas. He said, I want to kind of hone in on some of the ideas that you presented. But he said, really, the first reading, really liked it. And I'm like, cool, that's that. And that's
Awesome.
what I want. Yeah. I want guys to be encouraged. I want guys to see the good in life. And I've got some great stories in here. I talk about some of my experiences. And I'm really excited about people getting it in their hands and just, improving their lives. And that's what this show's about. So we didn't mention we have a website. It's called finishingonfire.com. And that's how the show comes through, but it's on finishingonfire.com. Which is the name of the book. And again, I'm Dave Wadsworth, the author, and then my co-host, Greg Vance. And have you got any parting words, Greg? Or are you just going to say, let's end this thing and we'll get on to the next episode?
Hey, I'm looking forward to getting the next episodes out and really starting to hear back from some of our listeners and seeing how we can best help them. We really want to make this conversational, get some questions in, and make this as valuable as possible for each of them. So we really want to hear from them, and we'll be talking more about that in the episodes that are coming up.
That's great. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate everything. It's great to see you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you for listening to the Finishing on Fire radio show. Be sure to visit finishingonfire.com for more great content. Go light your world.